Quirksville wasn't your ordinary town. For starters, the mayor was a parrot named Polly, who loved cracking bad jokes during town meetings. Then there was Mrs. Henderson, the librarian, who believed aliens were stealing overdue books. And let's not forget Old Man Fitzwilliam, who claimed to have invented the internet but lost the password. It was in this town of endearing oddballs that our story begins. We meet Harold, a walking disaster with a heart of gold. His best friend Cindy was a tech whiz who could hack into anything, except maybe her brother's video game console. Tom, the muscle of the group, all 6 feet of him, was easily startled by squirrels and loud noises. Finally, there was Lisa, the brains, who somehow managed to keep this eccentric bunch from imploding. One sweltering summer afternoon, as the gang sought refuge from the heat in Harold's basement, an idea sparked in Harold's mind. It wasn't just any idea. It was a colossal, ridiculous, unbelievably stupid idea. Cindy raised an eyebrow. Tom choked on his soda. Lisa, let me guess, Harold, you found a magic lamp? Harold, better! We're gonna rob the National Treasury! Silence. Then Cindy burst out laughing. Tom, the National Treasury? Are you insane? Harold, unfazed by the skepticism, grinned. Harold! $1 billion, guys! Think of what we could do. We could buy Quirksville! The idea was utterly absurd. But this was Quirksville, and absurd was practically a way of life. As Harold excitedly rambled on about his foolproof plan, which mostly involved disguises and a very large shopping cart, a flicker of interest ignited in Cindy's eyes. Even Lisa had to admit the sheer audacity of the plan was intriguing. The next few weeks were a whirlwind of planning, albeit planning of the most unconventional sort. The team gathered in their secret hideout, a rundown warehouse on the outskirts of town, where they brainstormed ideas, debated strategies, and meticulously crafted their plan. The air was thick with excitement and a touch of nervousness, as each member knew the stakes were high. Cindy, a master of all things digital, took charge of research, spending hours on the library computer, much to Mrs. Henderson's and the aliens' chagrin. She delved deep into the archives, uncovering hidden secrets and obscure details that would be crucial for their mission. Her fingers flew across the keyboard as she hacked into databases, leaving no stone unturned. She drew up blueprints of the Treasury, researched security protocols, and even hacked into the traffic light system, just in case. Cindy's meticulous attention to detail ensured that they had contingency plans for every possible scenario. She even managed to find a way to disable the building's alarm system temporarily, giving them a precious window of opportunity. Tom. His job was to create a distraction, and what better distraction than an army of hungry squirrels high on sugar? Tom spent days in the park, observing the squirrels' behavior and figuring out the best way to lure them. He experimented with different recipes, perfecting his squirrel-attracting cookies until they were irresistible. Thus began his secret mission to bake the most delicious, squirrel-attracting cookies the world had ever seen. The kitchen became his laboratory, filled with the sweet aroma of freshly baked cookies. He even tested the cookies on a few unsuspecting squirrels, watching in delight as they devoured them with gusto. Lisa, the strategist, focused on logistics. She spent hours poring over maps, planning the most efficient routes and backup plans. Her attention to detail was unmatched, and she left nothing to chance. She coordinated with Cindy to ensure that their digital and physical plans were perfectly aligned. She procured walkie-talkies disguised as rubber duckies, mapped out escape routes, and even convinced her dad, who owned the local costume shop, to lend them some borrowed props. Lisa's creativity knew no bounds, and she came up with ingenious ways to blend in and avoid detection. And Harold? Well, Harold was in charge of morale. He was the glue that held the team together, always ready with a joke or a word of encouragement. His positive energy was infectious, and he made sure that everyone stayed motivated and focused on their goal. He kept their spirits high with his infectious enthusiasm and his uncanny ability to find the humor in even the most ridiculous situations. Harold organized team-building activities, from impromptu dance-offs to late-night storytelling sessions, ensuring that the team remained united and resilient. He even came up with a code name for their operation, Operation Gummy Bear, because, well, why not? The name brought a sense of whimsy to their serious mission, reminding them to stay lighthearted and adaptable. With their plan in place and their spirits high, the team was ready to take on the challenge ahead. The night of the heist arrived, shrouded in a blanket of darkness and buzzing with nervous anticipation. The team had been planning this for months, and now the moment of truth was upon them. Each member of the crew felt the weight of the night pressing down on their shoulders, knowing that any misstep could spell disaster.
All right, here goes nothing. We've trained for this, and now it's time to put our plan into action.
Tom, armed with his secret weapon, a wheelbarrow full of squirrel nip cookies, strategically placed his offerings around the treasury grounds. He had spent weeks perfecting the recipe to ensure it was irresistible to the local squirrel population. Soon, an army of furry fiends descended, creating a chaotic, cookie-fueled diversion. The squirrels scampered and chattered, drawing the attention of the security